2, 1.
Hey guys, somehow we're already to the 5th video of Unit 2, and today we'll be discussing what happened post-revolution. In other words, some of those difficulties that the young nation faced. And I know our previous class, actually our previous 2 classes, we discussed a little bit about the Articles of Confederation and what their weaknesses were, and some of these examples will just expose what those weaknesses in general. So the first thing Congress had to find out a way to do was to demobilize the army. When the fighting and the revolution stopped, many of the troops refused to go home until Congress redressed their grievances. So many of that was concerning payment. Several members of Congress encouraged the officers' grumblings, actually hoping that would call for a stronger central government and its need. But most found the challenge to Congress's authority pretty alarming. So you have about 400 soldiers around Independence Hall, which is what we call it now. Another few dozen came from about Lancaster. So in total, you get about 500 soldiers. And this was known as the Pennsylvania Mutiny of 1783. So Washington called 2 of his generals out of retirement, Heath and Howe, to go calm the situation. They promised patience and urged, not to ruin the victory that they just accomplished. So things kept happening. Later in June, several hundred Continental soldiers and Pennsylvania militiamen gathered. When this was happening is what I meant to say. Congress actually had to flee Philadelphia because of the threat from these protesting militiamen, and they went to Princeton. And you see this capital constantly moving. It's in Lancaster, it's in Princeton, it's in Philadelphia, and that just doesn't look like stability. And it's questioning the authority of the new Congress, and it's just off to a shaky start already. Another significant issue is the opening of the West. Something we learned a little bit in class. We're going to learn about it today, but you're going to see this afterwards. So it was Tuesday about the Northwest Ordinance. So when the Americans won, they had more than just 13 colonies. They actually had territory to the west that was British as well. So very notable were 2 Great Land Ordinances of 1785 and 1787. So this provided for a systematic survey and even a sale of the region west of Pennsylvania, but north of the Ohio River. So the area was to be laid out in townships 6 square miles, and then each divided into lots of 640 acres apiece. Oh, and someone is calling. Hold on.